able to harmonize the board in the following ways. Accountability from all board members, superintendent, administrators, teachers, support staff, students, parents, and the community at large. Communication for everyone. And finally, transparency to foster and nurture innovation and creativity in the classroom and across the district. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Tea Party for hosting this event. I think it gives all of the candidates a great kickoff. Just a brief history about where I come from. I grew up in the Rochester School District. I am a product of the Rochester Public School District. I graduated from John Marshall High School in 1984. Shortly after that, I went to the Rye Institute of Technology, where I got an associate's degree in computer science. Shortly after graduation, I got an offer from IBM. It's the place I always wanted to work. It's the place I always wanted to come to. Throughout my career, I've had a number of different positions. I started off as a systems operator. Shortly after that, I became a trade show event marketing manager. And people always ask me, what does that mean? The easiest way for me to describe this is you take a huge box of Legos and you dump them out on the floor. And you have to take that box of Legos by working with other groups, unions, other trade show managers, and take that pile of Legos to make it look something reasonable, something beautiful, something pretty. You craft messages with executives. The end result is the customer walks into your event, and it's the best thing they've ever seen. They're interested, they're engaged, they want to buy your product. We're in a business. We're in the business of education. We need to entice more students, families into this community. And the current shape of our educational system, I believe, is in a little bit of a turmoil. We have an issue with funding, both state and locally. I think locally, we have not looked at the right areas of making budget cuts. Every time we look at making a budget cut, what do? We're affecting teachers. What do teachers do? Teach. If we don't have teachers, we don't have students. We don't have students achieving because teachers don't want to come to the district. What is the incentive for new teachers? Those students that are coming out of the educational system with these bright, brilliant ideas that aren't going to come here because of the budget issues that we have. Why, in this day and age, don't we look at the budget as a whole? Why are certain parts of the budget not looked at? In particular, staff and administration, cabinet and administration. Just going through a 285-page budget, I found $6 million we could have saved over the last 3 years. How many teachers could we have saved to educate our kids? In closing, I just want to, I think the voters of the Rochester Public School System are looking for a new face, a new voice, something that is outside of the norm. And I thank you again for hosting this. And
Hi, my name is Dawn Johnson, and I'm a single tax-paying citizen of Rochester. And I grew up in Illinois and attended school there. And in 6th grade, I found out that the school I was planning on attending, 7th grade, the middle school, was closed, as well as a bunch of other schools. And I don't want that to happen here. Also, I want to make sure that students here are prepared for their future, for their life, not just reading, writing, arithmetic, but having team skills, leadership skills, art, wellness, physical education. I want to make sure that stays within the schools and is developed because that's important in the job field. A lot of students learn teamwork through sports, learn leadership skills through sports, learn art as a means of relaxation when they get home. A lot of that's learned in the schools and it should continue to be learned in the schools. because it's important to education. Also, I just want to make sure that Rochester schools right now, they're okay, but they can be a lot better, and I plan to make them a lot better. I plan on finding different sources of funding, increasing volunteerism in the schools, and just dealing with the funding cuts that are getting from the state government and forcing their local government and property taxes to pay for more schooling. So I'm doing this because I'm not concerned about me, I'm not concerned about you, I'm concerned about our community's future, and I think we need to do that through education.
Hi, I'm Daniel Arthur O'Neill. Arthur is my father's name, and he was a school superintendent, a school principal. Some of y'all may remember Spring Valley High School, when there was a Spring Valley High School. My dad was principal there. That's why I was born in Rochester. I'm a product of public schools, Lester Prairie, Minnesota. If you've heard of it, you're one of few. The 42 graduates with me did pretty well. I have two sisters in town who are physicians. I went to the West Point U.S. Military Academy. My brother's an attorney, but we don't talk about it. I'm running for the school board as I did 4 years ago because it's a lifelong learning experience for me and because I think I can help make a difference for the community for the positive. And I'll just like to highlight about 3 things. First, my day job is I'm a project manager in the Center for Innovation at Mayo Clinic, and what we do is transform the way healthcare is delivered and experienced. And every time I say that, I get tingling like, wow, I died and went to work heaven. That's awesome. Second thing that I do that may be important to you is I'm part of a Minnesota Student Leaders Organization, which is a group of 11th graders who are taught by West Point cadets who fly back from the military academy. We've had kids as far north as St. Cloud and as far south as Leroy. They go to a presentation on ethics and honor in our schools because I believe ethics and honor are important in our schools and we need that. I was glad to hear we started with the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. And then finally, my other job that pretty gets me excited is that I've been a board member for the past 6 years at Channel One. At Channel One, we have a business obligation to feed the hungry, and helping feed hungry people is one of the websites I'd like to look at. At that organization, over the past 6 years, we created a new building, $1.6 million expansion, tripled the capacity of Channel One, and I believe that we serve people every day with food, people that really need food every day. So please take a look at that website, helpingfeedpeople.org. And then finally, as I said, I grew up in the family business. I made my first salary schedule in 1974 for my father before calculators came out. I lived in Germany, I lived in France, and I've also lived in Iraq. We are preparing students to prepare to lead and learn and live in a global economy, and we need to do that together. So thank you so much for having this event tonight. My name is Dan O'Neill.